Hey guys, today we're going to take a look at the leaders in the streaming audio services category, including a new one just out, Amazon Music HD, which is turning out to be quite an industry shaker-upper. Let's go through it. So first of all, this is not going to be a quality comparison between the services. There are a number of very good, very detailed videos out there already. Basically, it's well established that Qobuz and Tidal, both with their high and super high-end options, are the pack leaders in ultimate quality if, this is a big if, you have the hardware and software to support it. Software meaning for the Tidal version of their super high-end, their MQA, it requires special software to basically uncompress on the fly or unfold, as they say, to get the extreme quality. Qobuz has the advantage of streaming FLAC files no matter what quality you're getting, and they just have a super high-end option for a very small selection of audio out there. So those two are at the top, cream of the crop. Then below that, just one step, you have CD quality, which is Amazon HD and Tidal's, I'll call it their base level. They call it hi-fi, right? That's just like putting in a physical media CD, 16-bit, 44 megahertz, and it's uncompressed FLAC. So it's the best normal quality that you're going to get as far as it being a regular file, nothing special needed. Just below that, you have Spotify Premium. They do run compressed MP3s, but it's at 320 megabits a second. So it is quite detailed. I think it sounds fantastic. And I would bet 99% of their user base agrees. It's great for streaming to your mobile device. It's very bandwidth friendly, hence the compressed MP3. Songs are very small, but still sound great. Even on this system, it sounds fantastic. I have no complaints about it. And that's kind of the point of this video. You have to have some really high-end stuff, whether we're talking headphones and external DACs or living room gear. Very high-end speakers, very high-end preamp, processor, amplification, in order to hear the difference between Spotify Premium and anything above. It's just not that huge of a difference on, I'll say, middle of the road kind of hardware. You can't hear it. So I'm going to show you comparison wise how they function, and I'll tell you straight up, this system isn't even good enough to make an obvious difference between the same song in Spotify Premium, compressed MP3, and even the best quality Qobuz at some ridiculous 192 kilohertz. It's just not coming through. I do have new speakers coming tomorrow, and I'm going to give them a week of break-in, and then I'm going to do some more testing. I'm hoping they give me some more resolution, but that's another video. But I'm going to show you some other things to consider, because it's not just about the quality. It's about the app that you have to use to actually listen to it, and if it's even possible. So I'm going to run you through the apps. I'm going to give you some pluses and minuses to all of the services, and then you can make a better determination for what you might want to listen to. Now, if you're a stickler for quality and you just have to have the best of the best, it's going to be what it's going to be. But for most of us, it's going to come down to you're probably going to have a deal breaker in one or two of these services. So that's why I want to do this. So starting off at the baseline, it's about how do you get the music to your ears. If you are using Bluetooth headphones, if you're streaming from your tablet or your phone, you're streaming right to your headphones, stop right now. Get Spotify Premium and you are good to go. The reason is Bluetooth cannot support, with very few exceptions, anything more than what you're getting out of Spotify Premium. That's it. The protocol is maxed out in bandwidth. Bluetooth is not meant to be a high bandwidth streaming protocol, and it can't even stream CD quality audio. Stepping up from there, and that also goes for if you're using a Bluetooth receiver on your equipment, same thing. Anything Bluetooth, forget it. Spotify Premium, good to go, topped out. Moving up a notch, we get into Wi-Fi and using AirPlay instead of Bluetooth. Works extremely similarly. You have your device and you use AirPlay to connect, whether it be direct to your receiver, which I'll be doing here, or to an Apple TV, or direct to your TV, or whatever your streaming box may be. Using the AirPlay protocol instead of Bluetooth gives you the ability to do CD quality audio. So you can use Tidal Hi-Fi. You can use the base level of Qobuz, and you're going to at least get, because Qobuz does have at its default CD quality, that's their low quality. And then they have 2 levels of their extreme quality, but really, really small library for that. Get into that later. AirPlay can do CD quality. So you've got 2 distinct levels there. Now, some people will say the difference between the 320 compressed MP3 of Spotify versus CD quality from any of the services is day and night. And I'm here to tell you, I don't have any equipment. I have a really nice set of Sony headphones, very expensive, very high resolution. I don't have anything that is day and night to me. I can hear a small difference in some parts of some songs on the headphones, and to an even lesser degree out here playing those same passages. So I'm getting more quality out of the headphones than I am the living room system. That's probably going to be true of a lot of people. But the point is, I don't even have a high enough fidelity system here in the living room to make use of those extreme quality streams. So CD quality, until I can hear a clear difference between that and the MP3, I don't have any need to go beyond that. So what I'm looking for, and this is partially why I have new speakers coming tomorrow, is to hear that difference. So the CD quality is higher quality because it is uncompressed. It's an uncompressed FLAC file instead of a compressed MP3. It is 16-bit. It is 44 kilohertz. So it is exactly like putting in a physical media CD direct to your system. And AirPlay has more than enough bandwidth to support that, so you can A/B test. All of these services, thankfully, have a 30 to 90 day free trial. So you can sign up, and that includes their highest level. So you can sign up, do A/B testing, get the same song, and I'll give you some suggestions later on what to listen to and what in them to listen to. Play one, play the next, rewind, play certain passages over and over, play one, let it go, play the other, let it go further. You know, switch back and forth a lot and pay attention. I'm looking for that difference to be, oh, well, there it is. I don't even have to listen for it. It's very clearly different. But as it stands right now, I have to play something over and over and over and over. And believe me, the placebo effect doesn't work on me. A lot of people, I think it does, and they're just simply saying, looking at the specs, oh yeah, I can hear a huge difference. I don't think that many people have that high-end equipment. I just don't. So, me, I'm the opposite. I'm a skeptic, and I'm super critical, and I'm just not hearing it, except with these small exceptions. So that's what to expect. Don't let the placebo effect into your head. If you can't hear a difference, it's okay, because not everybody should be able to hear a difference. But if I hear something that's boom, okay, that is totally something different. It's like I'm playing 2 different songs. I'll know that I've hit the sweet spot. Not there yet. So CD quality is what AirPlay can stream. Beyond that, you have to go to specialized software. Now, I have a near top of the line Yamaha receiver. It comes with their streaming service built in. It's called MusicCast. and it works with all the major streaming services. It's built into the receiver, and it's not limited by any bandwidth considerations like Bluetooth or AirPlay because it's playing directly to the internet. The receiver is connected to the internet, and it doesn't matter if it's wired via Ethernet or Wi-Fi. Both have many times more potential than music streaming ever uses. So it doesn't matter there. But the point is, it connects. You're basically using your phone or tablet as a remote control for the receiver. The receiver is playing the music direct from the internet. So the downside is it is streaming everything, whereas if you use Bluetooth or AirPlay, you can be playing local copies. And that becomes important for scrubbing. If you're playing a locally downloaded file, you can scrub back and forth and it's instant. If you're streaming, the higher quality, the worse this is, you get lag because some of these files are 100 megabytes. And if you scrub back and forth, it's not downloading the whole file into the cache in all cases. And some of them are even big. The longer, extreme high quality songs on Qobuz can be half a gig. They're ridiculously huge. So scrubbing is not instant if you're streaming like it is downloaded. But you can get all the high-end quality files except for Tidal's MQA because that requires special software and or hardware. There are some standalone DACs and just a couple integrated receivers, integrated amps that have the support for that built in. But for the most part, what you have to do is use your computer running the Tidal program and then using a digital out cable to your theater system or your amplifier or your preamp from your computer in order to get Tidal's extremely high end. And that sucks. That is a terrible solution. It is not the future, trust me. Qobuz took the right way. Both of their extreme, they're 92 and 96 and 192. Can't remember right now. I'll put it on the screen. Both of those are just straight FLAC files and they stream no problem with no special hardware or software. That's the way it should be done. That's the way Amazon HD is doing it. Normal, uncompressed FLAC file, CD quality. Nothing special required. It plays on everything and it plays beautifully. So, those are the differences between how you use it. The apps have some pros and cons too. Let's go through that next. First of all, a quick tip. This is a site called Soundees, and this is how you can easily switch your playlists over from one service to the other with a couple notable exceptions. So I've got my playlist home right up here at the top, and Spotify is where I created it, so this is where I start from. And if you want to, say, move it over to Tidal, you click the 3 buttons on the side and then convert to. And what this is asking for is just the basic info. You can just accept the defaults here for now. Click save. It confirms what songs you want to convert over. All is selected by default. We'll confirm that. And now you can say, where do you want it to go? It will ask you to log into the particular service that you want it to go to, create a playlist, and attempt to move all the songs in there. It's not 100% perfect. For example, Tidal, when I did that, it goofed on some songs just because they were labeled differently and it said that they weren't available, but if you search Tidal, they really were. So there were only a handful that weren't actually available in Tidal. Qobuz was another story. Only about a third of my playlist even exists. The song library is tiny in Qobuz compared to Spotify, and Tidal is somewhere in the middle. But you can see everything here that it supports. The two major things you don't see are Apple Music and Amazon. Neither one of those will accept incoming data. So you can't move a playlist into either one of those. You can move music and playlists out, but not into. Everything else is two-way. So up here, I created the same playlist in Tidal and Qobuz, and you can also do Deezer, you can do whatever. But if you try to do Apple Music, it might not show up, but it's a little grayed out, and Amazon isn't even on this list. You can't do it. So it doesn't support everything, but it does Qobuz and Tidal, and it'll take just a few seconds to go ahead and do that. So that does work really well, and it's free. Don't be scammed by a lot of other sites that require the purchase of an app or are limited to a certain number of songs in the playlist. Soundees does everything for free. So let's start off with Spotify, by far the industry leader. It has an awesome app, a great interface, and the largest library out there, period. It is very easy to find music, to have music recommended, to make playlists, to actually use the interface to play your music. It's got tons of podcasts. It's just extremely user-friendly. I have no problems with it whatsoever. It doesn't crash. It's cool. Now I'm going to do some testing here, just doing the same thing in each app to show you. I've got a playlist here, and like I said, this is my master, and we'll just be playing this first song. You play it, and then you get this little bar down at the bottom. I'm going to turn it down so I don't get any copyright violations. And then down at the bottom here, we've got the song that's playing. You get your basic info. In the corner, you can stream it via Spotify Connect to a plethora of things in your house. Now this brings up things that natively work with Spotify Connect, and things that are on Bluetooth, and things that are on Google Cast, and things that are on AirPlay. It does everything. So it's really handy and very simple. Spotify Connect is unique in that it is not streaming from the phone or tablet to your device. The device is connected directly to the internet, and it's pulling it directly. You are only using your device as a remote control. So you get instant playback. There's no buffering, even though it's streaming, and it's a small file, but you have really quick control. It's beautiful. So you can see a lot of my Echo devices in the house. Living room is my receiver, and house, if I want to turn on every Echo in the house and do a party, I can go direct to the TV. I can go to my NVIDIA Shield. I can go to any Bluetooth device, whatever I want. I don't have my headphones plugged in right now or turned on, so they're not on there, but it's flawless, all right? So that's how you connect to any different device other than your phone or tablet. You've got instant scrubbing. There's no delay. Forward and back, seamless play, repeat. You can favorite. You can see what's coming up next. And that's it. You do have a nice display on the receiver. Just shows you the basic info and that you're streaming from Spotify. Over here we have the controls you would expect. You can view more from their album, more from the artist, add it to a queue, etc. So that's Spotify. Works very well. Welcome to Amazon Music HD. This has 2 more levels of quality. They have HD, which is CD quality, and then they have Ultra HD, which goes beyond that. Now, like I said, if you're doing AirPlay, you're limited to hearing HD, but it'll play in Ultra HD. You just won't hear any difference. We have very similar layouts, except this one is vertical instead of horizontal. We have playlists that are only in Ultra HD, and it is a small library. They simply say it's more than 1 million. That's it. They don't tell you anything more than that. It's not more than 10, or they would have told you that. Spotify has over 100 million songs, by the way. Tidal's boasting somewhere around 60 or 70 the last I heard, and Qobuz is something like 30, and then a very small selection in their top grade qualities. So they're touting all the HD and Ultra HD right now, so that's pushed to the top. You can make playlists. If you go to My Music, I've just started importing things into here just for testing, and this is going to be a long process because it's one by one, because you can't import playlists, which really sucks. So you get a lot more info in Amazon Music. You've got this bar in the middle for full lyrics. That's pretty cool. Supported by the X-Ray platform. You can click on the Ultra HD and see what quality is available for the particular track that is playing, and right now we're playing the 24-bit 96 kilohertz, which is beyond the AirPlay, which is limited to 16-bit 44, which is not a problem because it's still CD quality. It's still better than Spotify. Down here we have the option to connect to any device on AirPlay. And here we can see the Echo devices. And if I click AirPlay, I can see things that are specifically in AirPlay only, and I'll connect to the home theater. Oh, that's my Apple TV. I meant to connect to living room. I used to have those named differently. The cool thing with AirPlay is, as you can see here, you can connect to multiple devices. So if these were two different rooms, you can do that. Very much like you can do with Echoes. So that's really neat. But these are both in the same room playing to the same receiver, so that wouldn't make any sense. So now I've got it playing through the receiver again. This also has excellent controls. You can scrub. It's instant as long as the song is downloaded. Forward and back skip, repeat, and seamless, same as Spotify. So I like this interface. It works very well. And as long as you can use AirPlay to get CD quality, if that's all you want, it's good. Here is Tidal. Now, Tidal is more towards rap and hip hop. That's who owns it and runs it. Artists that are in that genre. So there's definitely more in it than the other services and less of other things like classical, jazz, etc. in Tidal. And that certainly proved itself when I imported my playlist and did have several missing. Very similar again to the other two as far as how to search and find music and things like that. Not as many podcasts in Tidal compared to Spotify, so if you're big into those, definitely stick over there or get both. Now over in my collection is where you have your songs and playlists, and this is my home playlist. Same thing. We'll go play the same track, and down at the bottom, very similar to Spotify, you've got your little info bar. And if we click it, we have pretty much the same thing as Spotify again. No lyrics this time, like Amazon, but you get the same album art. And up on the screen, you get the standard AirPlay screen. This looks the same no matter what you're streaming through from your iOS device into Yamaha receiver. Down at the bottom, we have a hi-fi button, and you can see what quality it's currently streaming in, although they don't give you any information about what they are, which is kind of stupid. Now, Master is their top-of-the-line MQA, which is not supported on an iOS device, not supported by AirPlay, not supported by the Yamaha receiver, so it's not really playing in that, but they don't tell you that here. Hi-Fi is still beyond the capability of AirPlay, so we're not hearing that either. Hi is CD quality. Hi is the same as Amazon Music HD. Here we have Qobuz. Definitely more basic, definitely more beta looking. It just isn't that polished, and a much, much smaller library. Similarly, we can go to My Qobuz, see the playlist, and you can see it's missing something like 40 songs as compared to Spotify. And if we go play in here, very similar look as well. Down here we do get information about what is playing. We can click on high res and we get some nice info. So MP3 320, that's Spotify quality. CD 16-bit 44, again that's Amazon HD or Tidal high quality. And then we have 24-bit, and we've got some broken English here basically saying they're really big. You sure? Yes. Oh my God, yes. I know it's going to consume my data. I'm on Wi-Fi. Stop warning me. And then we have an even smaller library and another stupid couple warning screens to go to 192 kilohertz for their Ultra HD. Again, if you're streaming AirPlay, CD is the maximum possible. You have two different selections, one for mobile, one for Wi-Fi, and this is true of all of the services in your general settings. You would want to restrict mobile especially because you could be downloading gigabits, gigabytes, excuse me, of music if you were set to this. Oh my God, seriously, terrible app. It's really eh. Anyway, up in the corner, we have our connection hub. We can, again, connect to everything that we've seen previously. We're already connected to living room. AirPlay, by the way, is a device-centric, not app-centric connection. So if you connect to living room in one app, it's going to automatically be connected when you launch another one. So it's basically connecting the iPad, in this case, to the receiver, not Qobuz or Tidal. We can scrub. There is a little delay compared to the other services, but it's not bad. It's about a second, but it's not instant. Now you might be asking, okay, well that's great if all you want is CD quality. How in the hell do you get more than that? How do you use those upper options in Tidal and Qobuz? Well, that's where this app comes into play. This is MusicCast. I've got one room set up, the living room, and these are all the services that work with it as of the current firmware. Yamaha's routinely put out firmware to update it, and I'm sure that they'll have one pretty soon for Amazon Music HD. And they routinely update what they have here. But currently, they're supporting Napster, SiriusXM, Pandora, all three of which are useless. And then we have Spotify, Qobuz, Tidal, and Deezer. Deezer isn't too popular, but it's still decent quality. This app is horrendous. Here's why. There is one absolute deal breaker with it. Okay, first of all, with Spotify, it doesn't need to do anything different. If you click Spotify, all it does is launch the Spotify app. Because it's connected via Spotify Connect, you're just using it as a remote control. And there's no higher quality possible in Spotify, so the MusicCast app doesn't need to do anything with it. If, however, you click Qobuz or Tidal, it will directly connect through the receiver. And you're looking at the interface for all of them. This is now what you get instead of nice tiles and graphics and a nice search bar and playlists and everything else. This is horrendous. You're looking at something that looks like it's from 1995 playing I don't know, Winamp or something. I mean, this is just terrible. You have nothing graphical, and you're just endlessly going through menus that are slow to navigate and really quite useless. But that's not even the showstopper. Check this out. So we'll go into playlists. And by the way, these menu titles aren't even consistent between apps. We'll go to my home playlist. And we'll play High Horse again. Now this is through MusicCast, so we are getting the full FLAC 96 kilohertz. So theoretically, it should be even better than CD quality. Again, I can't hear the difference on this system, so it doesn't matter to me. We've got repeat, we've got seamless play. Notice something missing, like a dot on the play bar. You can't scrub using MusicCast. All you can do is next track, previous track, play pause. Absolutely ridiculous. Nothing. You try to grab anywhere, it's never been there. It's like Yamaha hired a third-party company to make this software and just said, good enough. Nobody's going to use it anyway. Unfortunately, this is the only way to get better than CD quality to your Yamaha receiver. And that goes for most receivers out there, because if you're AirPlay, CD quality is all you're going to get. You've got to go to something proprietary, and this is Yamaha's proprietary. It's just horrendous. We can click this little EQ looking slider thing here, and this is kind of cool. You can control the basic settings of your receiver. Right now I've got it in pure direct. I've got all processing off. It goes direct from the input to the amplifier section. And, that's about it. Pretty useless, which really sucks because, like I said, it's the only way to get the higher quality stuff in there. So there you go, guys. I just wanted to give you the basic info about the services so you can maybe make a decision about which ones you at least want to try. Use the free trials. Make sure your hardware is up to snuff and you can even possibly tell the difference, let alone actually hear the difference. But do a lot of testing and make sure that you get one that fits your use, your lifestyle. I listen to music every day for at least an hour out on a walk. I just have it playing off my phone and it's local, so I don't have to use any of my data. That's important to me. Most of my listening around here is casual. It's ambient. I'm listening to background jazz in my office and I'm streaming directly from one of my Echo devices to the DAC in my computer. I don't care if it's super high quality, it's ambient music. When I'm critically listening, that's when I just want one good connection right here in the highest quality possible that I can detect to the living room. So that's kind of what you have to think about. How exactly are you going to use it? If you're just using it for Bluetooth headphones, you don't need anything high quality. Stick to Spotify and you're good. Or even the free Amazon service if you have a Prime membership. You don't even need the HD. You may not hear the difference unless your headphones are super duty. Oh, one other quick thing. The DACs used in iPhones and iPads, different generations and different devices are very different. For example, if you have an iPhone without a headphone jack, you have to use the little headphone dongle. That dongle has a DAC in it, and it is limited, can you guess, to CD quality. Likewise, if you have a 5th generation or above iPad, the DAC built into it, limited to CD quality. That actually it's 48 instead of 44. But Apple resamples everything up or down to that specification for output, whether it's directly in the device or the dongle. So bear that in mind. The only way to get higher quality out of your iOS device is to use an external DAC wired in through the Lightning port. Not using the dongle. It has to go as a data connection, not an analog connection. There's a lot to consider. Hope this helps somebody. See you next time.